This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. The U.S. Air Force may soon bring 170 members of Qatar's Air Force to live on the Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho. They would be learning to fly the newest model of the F-15 fighter jet, specially modified for the Persian Gulf state. The Qatar project dates to 2017 when the United States inked a $12 billion deal that gave Qatar 36 aircraft, their associated weapon systems, U.S.-based training, maintenance support equipment, and logistics support. Now Qatar is ready to begin plans for the U.S.-based training. The Qatari Air Force will send pilots and weapon system operators to the U.S., where the air crews will learn how to independently operate the F15QA ahead of receiving their new aircraft. The project would include 300 total personnel, including the 170 Qatari trainees and 130 U.S. Air Force active duty personnel and contractors. The training program would last 10 years. Military commanders have initiated an investigation into troops ordered to the U.S.-Mexico border by the president. U.S. Northern Command announced its investigation is to examine a wide range of alleged issues that have occurred among troops deployed on a federal mission along the southwest border. About 2,400 service members, a combination of active duty and National Guard troops from 20 states, are now deployed along the border with Mexico, according to NORTHCOM officials. Their work includes monitoring security cameras and sensors to alert U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents of activity along the border. Troops also have administrative and support duties. Military officials would not say what issues are being investigated, what triggered the NORTHCOM investigation, what exactly it would cover, or how long it could last. Officials also did not confirm whether the investigation was related to a series of criminal incidents that involved troops serving along the border. The NORTHCOM investigation, known as a 15-6, will be led by a general officer. The investigating officer will have an investigative team of senior members from the active military, Army Reserve, and National Guard. Veterans who experienced toxic exposure in the military now have a chance to tell their stories to people who can make a difference. The House Committee on Veterans Affairs announced the committee wants veterans to participate in an online survey about the effects of toxic exposure. The survey asks about exposure, health conditions, VA benefits, and how Congress can help. A full committee roundtable titled "The True Cost of Our Promise to Toxic Exposed Veterans" will be held. Representatives from 11 veteran service organizations have been invited to the roundtable to discuss honoring the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics, or PACT Act, which passed out of committee last summer. The bill would potentially provide health care for millions of veterans exposed to airborne hazards like burn pits, and would establish presumption of service connection for 23 respiratory illnesses and cancers related to airborne exposure, among other initiatives. It would allow people exposed to contaminated drinking water at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune and New River Air Station in Jacksonville from 1953 to 1987 to sue the government and potentially recover damages for harm caused by the water. Turning to the ongoing global supply chain woes, the newest member of the Air Force and Space Force will leave boot camp with fewer uniform items due to shortages of fabric and labor. The Air Force began issuing to graduates of basic military training 2 dress blue uniform shirts, 1 long sleeve and 1 short sleeve, and 1 pair of slacks or trousers. Normally, new Air Force members are issued 2 of each shirt type, along with 3 pairs of trousers for men and 2 pairs of slacks for women. The Air Force plans to put something extra in their paycheck so basic training graduates may purchase their missing uniform items from the Army and Air Force Exchange Service when they arrive at their next school or duty station. Reservists will be issued missing items, if available, after they arrive at their home units. The Defense Logistics Agency is working with the fabric supplier, Burlington Industries, who is the sole supplier of worsted and polywool dress fabric used in all U.S. military dress uniforms. In South Korea, A woman accused in the September killing of a U.S. soldier's 3-year-old son was convicted by a South Korean court and sentenced to 18 years in prison. 30-year-old Jamaica Ablakis was found guilty of killing Noah Calhoun, the son of Army Private James and Courtney Calhoun, by a 3-judge panel. Ablakis admitted during a court appearance to killing the child. She was charged with murder in conjunction with child abuse, which carries a minimum of 3 years in prison and a maximum penalty of death under South Korean law. The court also banned her from working for any child services organization for 10 years after serving her sentence. Her attorney plans to file an appeal. A U.S. Marine Corps tilt-rotor squadron has been assigned to Naval Air Station Sigonella in Sicily to provide air support for military operations in Africa. Marine Medium Tilt-Rotor Squadron 365 arrived and is operating as part of a Marine Corps Forces Europe and Africa's North and West Africa Response Force. The squadron flies MV-22 Ospreys as the air combat element of a crisis response force. It has aircraft on alert and ready to assist with a variety of needs. Normally, a Marine Osprey squadron consists of 12 aircraft. Earlier this month, the detachment participated in an air-to-ground training exercise with the 173rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team Airborne and the U.S. Air Force at Aviano Air Base in northeastern Italy. The unit is the newest to make Naval Air Station Sigonella its home. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.